welcome back. So if you figured out it's time to start stocking up on stuff, definitely now is the time. Today I'm going to show you what I picked up from the Dollar Tree. This is my Dollar Tree budget prepping haul. These are supplies almost anybody can afford. And we're going to check them out when we come back. Alright everybody, welcome back. So I just wanted to show you kind of a little bit of what I picked up from the Dollar Tree. Lately what I've been doing, because I have a lot of preps and I also have a lot of freeze-dried stuff, is going through my preps and rotating out some of the older stuff. So if you see 2 cans of something out here, rest assured there's 10 more inside that I've rotated. So I want to bring them all out and show you because it wouldn't even fit on the table. So what I want to do is give you a little sample of some of the stuff that's in your local Dollar Tree. If you're on a budget, and like I tell people, if you're on a budget and I'm showing you all this freeze-dried food that costs a lot of money, by all means, feel free to ignore those videos and go out and get yourself stocked up. I would much rather people get stocked up than buy stuff from me. The reason I started the channel was pretty much to share my prepping with other people and help them get ready if they're new. So that's my theory on that. So anyway, this is stuff anybody can afford. I mean, these are all items that are, what you see on here is less than 40 bucks on the table. These are all items pretty much you can grab at your local Dollar Tree. And some of them have reasons. Some of them I just bought because I needed to rotate them. So I'll explain everything to you. So the first thing I did right off the bat was pick up spices. All right, I have been trying to stock up my spices in what I have: salt, pepper, basic stuff. So you see here I've got my black pepper and a salt grinder. This is the whole salt crystals that you grind up. Garlic and pepper seasoning. That makes life real easy because I love garlic. A little bit of chopped onion. This goes a long way. These are really, really good in a lot of different stuff. I like to put them in my hamburgers, believe it or not. I take a little bit, mix it in with the hamburgers, and they come out really good. So that was the first thing. I wanted to pick up some spices. Next thing. Now this is the hot sauce that Dollar Tree sells. It's this chicken wing sauce. It's really not that bad as far as hot goes. You know, if you can't do really, really spicy stuff, this is good. The reason I get this is because it's a good mix between how I like it, which is ridiculously hot, and how other people like it, which is kind of, you know, mellow. Plus, if you want to add a little bit of it, it doesn't overpower the flavor, and it works good to make stuff that maybe not be so great, and it works good to make stuff that maybe doesn't taste so great taste a little better. So I always make sure I stock up on hot sauce. This is something that I'm actually rotating in my preps. I'm going to be taking it out of my preps, the old one, and putting in the new one. So that and the seasonings are being added. Okay, next up, now we kind of got a clear view here. This yellow saffron rice, this stuff is awesome, and there is a good 3 to 4 portions in these, and they're $1, you know. Rice is one of the items that things are the supply is starting to shrink up on, so I picked up about 5 of those. I only have 2 out here to show you, but I did pick up that. This stuff, I always buy beans, and I love black beans and black bean soup, as you saw when I did my black bean soup from the My Patriot Supply. So I've picked up a bag of these. I have about 4 or 5 bags packed away. What I do with these is I'll put it in Mylar when I'm done, seal it up, and stick it in a bucket that has all my beans in it. And if anything in there is really old, which I doubt, but if anything's really old, I'll take it out and rotate. But this will probably just go in there just fine. Okay, next up, now, I have a lot of rice stored. I'll end up using this every day. This is not going to go into storage, but I wanted to show you that for $1, you can get 2 pounds of rice. Again, rice is stuff that's going to start having shortages. They're having issues with getting it into the country. They're having issues, which is another reason why I feel we should really be growing our own stuff. They're having issues with it, so it is going to be in short supply. Now it's time to stock up before the price gets crazy, ridiculously high. All right, let's move this out of the way. Actually, I'll move it over that way. And let's move into the more mundane stuff you use every day. These are great, by the way. If you ever had these, they're good for travel. I keep some in my car. I keep some in my go bag. They're really inexpensive. Travel wipes, keep your hands clean, keep yourself clean. If you have to take a quick side of the road sponge bath, they work really well for that, and they're $1. So I did stock up on about 4 or 5 of those. I have some older ones that have been there forever, so I figured it's time to rotate them out. So got those. Hydrocortisone Cream. This is good wherever you buy it. You don't have to buy this in, you know, a CVS or a Walgreens. This is good pretty much anywhere where you get it. It's the same stuff. Really good for itchy skin, minor scrapes and abrasions and injuries, things you want to keep germs out of, even bad cuts once they've healed up a little. This is good to kind of put on the top. So definitely a good little thing. Another thing I picked up, aluminum foil. This stuff's getting real expensive. Okay, I have a bunch of this stuff already stored. I wanted to add to my prep, so I got another box of it. So this is going to be added into my preps. I have a lot of this stored though. This was only 40 feet, but you know what? This is fine. And they're also really cool for making a windbreak out of. If you're doing outside cooking, you double it up, fold it over, make yourself a little windbreak. But for preserving, for keeping your food covered, for keeping it ready for heating, cooking, whatever, baking, definitely pick up some tin foil. It's going to get really, really expensive soon. All metals are going up, with the inflation and with the supply issues. Another thing, these are great for storing food. Okay, you may not lose power. Your fridge may be fine. You know, there may be some emergency, or like we're going into with really bad inflation, where you want to start eating and saving your leftovers. I know a lot of people, and I'm very bad about it too. I sometimes will end up throwing out my leftovers or not eating them. I like these because they make it easy to store stuff, put it in there, and definitely when things are getting expensive and in short supply, you want to store your food after you've cooked it. So I got a couple of these. These will again be used in everyday use. These aren't going in my storage. We're just going to stick these in the kitchen cabinet and use them. All right, next up, toothbrushes. Plastic shortages again. That's why I bought those too. We're having a big shortage of plastics right now. Figured time to stock up on these. I have a good amount put away, but can't hurt to have a few little extra readily available and ready to go. Plus, I can throw out my old one and use this. So definitely stock up on anything you think that have plastic in it or is made with plastic. There's going to be issues with the supply chain on that too down the road, I suspect. So definitely a good idea to stock up on that. All right, so let's move back into the food here because I'm kind of making a mess of everything. These I got these egg noodles. I got 4 bags of them. I have 2 out here to show you. I'm going to be rotating the 4 that I have stored on top, and then underneath in my buckets I have a bunch more. But these are just readily available type stuff in my storeroom that I rotate out, along with my long-term storage of noodles in a sealed Mylar bag. So I've had the noodles in there for about 2 years. I figure, you know what, they're in plastic, they're all sealed up, but I'm going to rotate them out. So these are going to get rotated into storage. Let's go back here. Macaroni and cheese. Now that I have powdered milk, this stuff is awesome with powdered milk. You may not like powdered milk, but you make a little bit, toss it in here. This stuff will last a whole lot longer. If you buy the mac and cheese that has that cheese spread type sauce in it, rotate that out often. That stuff gets like rubber. I've had it do that to me after 1 year of storage. And you go to dump the stuff in and it comes out in one big glob and it doesn't melt. So this is what I use for long-term storage. Again, I will rotate these out. There are in cardboard if you have pests or mice or anything like that. You probably want to seal these up or put them in a 5-gallon bucket. But that's what I picked up for there. Next up, instant coffee. These little tubes. They're little individual tubes of Taster's Choice. Good stuff. Really, really easy to make. You boil some water, you dump it in, you mix it up. Instant coffee's come a long way from the old days where maybe your parents drank it and it was nasty. It's actually pretty good. So we're going to be putting that in our secondary storeroom where I have more of the emergency go bag type stuff, go foods, you know, where I pack up my little MREs and stuff. So that's where they're going there. All right, let me move some stuff out of the way and we'll get into the rest of the food. One thing I did forget to mention in the first aid type toiletries type stuff is witch hazel. Dollar Tree has this stuff for $1. It's not the best price. I know Walmart has the taller containers for like $1.19, but still it's a handy kind of travel carry kind of thing if you use this in your bug out bags. It's kind of heavy, you know, for a bug out bag, but still it's a smaller item. It's kind of handy to have, and it's great for infections and skin cleaning and wounds and anything that you would probably use rubbing alcohol or maybe hydrogen peroxide on. This stuff works really, really well. So definitely something cool. I forgot to mention it. So let's get into the food here. Now, as usual, of course, good old ramen soups. You may hate them, you know. If you do, don't buy them. But for $1, couldn't pass it up. All right, next up, we're going to go with ketchup. Believe it or not, ketchup is something that's going to be in short supply, according to what they're predicting. Some of it has to do with the ship that got messed up in the strait there in the canal, but some of it has to do with just pricing and availability. And remember, a lot of this stuff is produced in factories that are running at like half capacity or a fourth of their capacity right now because they can't find workers. So this is something to pick up as well. I picked up this because I want to replace some, I have a tall one that I am going to be replacing and rotating out. That's easy to use. It's in metal, so you got to watch it. You got to watch sauce cans, any kind of acidic type content. A lot of your fruits that are canned and a lot of your sauces, you want to mix them out often. You want to rotate them out often. And I noticed I had a can in there that expired in January of this year. So I actually do use the best by dates. They're not really expiration dates. They're legally required to be put on things. They really mean nothing. But for this stuff, I like to be careful because I have had entire flats of it go bad. So getting that to rotate in. Next up, make my hummus, garbanzo beans. Love these things. You know, when you blend them up and you make hummus, they're great. So I want to try that. This actually isn't going into my preps. I'm going to try and make some hummus with it. And I saw it there and I was like, hey, that's kind of cool. But if you like garbanzo beans, again, they're there. Coconut milk. Now you may think, what the heck does he do with coconut milk? Well, one of the things I do with it is I make curry sauces with it. I love curry coconut, okay? It is the best sauce in the world. You make some chicken, you throw that in that sauce. So I do use coconut milk a lot. So picked up a can of it. That's going to go in our main pantry. That's no big storage item. Some soups. Again, these are the shorter containers of soups, but you can never have enough soups. They're so easy to make. All you really need is a flame and a pot, and boom, you've got food. So got some soups. I got about 5 or 6 of those total because I am going to be rotating those out to the old stuff. Next up, tuna and chicken. Got some chicken here. These are smaller cans, but for $1 you really can't go wrong. So we're going to be rotating out some of the tuna and the chicken. I have a lot more in the other room. I just didn't bring it out. This is just for the video. I know some people are going to go, oh my God, you eat that stuff? Well, you know what? I like it. I don't eat it every day. I do like it. And in an emergency situation, I could have a can of it for lunch and be happy. And it's easy to store. This, on the other hand, okay, this is a tomato sauce. This is where I break my rule on tomato sauces. I don't know how many fake ingredients are in this thing. I have never had one of these cans go bad. When I was moving here in 2003, I found one that I put away in '99. Again, here I found one that I had for 10 years by mistake. You know, it falls back behind stuff, and then you go and pull out your whole row there to do the rotation of first in, first out, and you're like, oh wow, how did that get back there? And it was 10 years old, and it tasted like it just came off the shelves. So you won't have a problem with these. Do keep an eye on them, but they're pretty safe. They don't really go bad. Okay, next up, cream of mushroom. I use this for making chicken. You take some chicken breasts, trim them up, season them. Maybe you brown them a little bit in a pan, and then you toss this in. Makes really, really good kind of casserole. Chicken classic Alfredo. Alfredo sauce, definitely a staple in this house. Love my Alfredo sauce. So, that's just some of the stuff that I picked up. I think now with what we're starting to hear about with shortages and potential work slowdowns and all sorts of stuff, and prices, especially inflation, there has been such a surge in commodity prices over the last year. It almost guarantees higher goods prices, this summer. The ripple effect of that is going to cause everything in the store, from beef to cereal to fruit to veggies, to soar. All right? At the end of the day, when you go up to the front and something you've always paid $100 for in grocery-wise, your weekly shopping is $200, you're going to be like, wow, that really hurts. So, definitely something to think about. You want to also make sure you're stocked up on your cheeses, your eggs, things like that. Chicken, actually frozen chicken or, refrigerated chicken. Definitely a good time to stock up on it. The supply is really constrained right now, and I'm even seeing that in my local stores. We're seeing a lot of shortages. Since March of last year, the canned goods aisle, where they have the canned chicken and stuff in my Walmart, has never returned to normal. It's always kind of, the best way to describe it would kind of be like, maybe it looks like this, and there's a couple cans here and a couple cans there, but it used to be flat to the wall, stocked full every week, and whenever I shopped, I normally shop today, Tuesdays, and whenever I shopped, it was packed to the back with food. Now it's kind of, holes everywhere. So it's never really fully recovered from, the first original shortages back in last March. So if you're thinking about getting stocked up, like I said, you can do this $10 a week, you can do this $20 a week. I mean, what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. About 15, 16 bucks. You can do this once a week. If all you can afford is $10, take a few items out of here. Get 10 bucks a week. Get yourself some kind of food storage before it gets bad this summer, because I really do see it getting really kind of ugly with inflation and with all the shortages and the problems that are going on, along with the unrest in the country. Definitely time to get stocked up. So that is my little Dollar Tree haul, my budget prepping supplies. Some of them I'm going to use, some of it's getting rotated into the stash there in my storeroom. But I just wanted to give you guys a little heads up, let you see what's out there and what you can get, and let you know that it isn't all about expensive freeze-dried food. Now, I love freeze-dried food. I'll be the first one to tell you I sell a lot of it. But if you can't afford that and you're really on a tight budget, 10 to 20 bucks a week can get you a good stash of food put away. Make sure you're also putting away water, and that's an excellent start to being better prepared. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching today and seeing what I got. Don't forget to check out our links down below. We have our Amazon affiliate store down there. I try to put everything I review in that store. Don't forget to check out our Thrive Life freeze-dried food. If freeze-dried food is right for you, definitely it's good. One of the better brands of freeze-dried food. Thrive is really, really good stuff. Don't forget to check out our My Patriot Supply, and that's preparewithiridium.com. We have some amazing specials going on there right now. And our freeze-dried wholesalers link. You get a 15% discount just for using my link. So whatever you like of their food, you can get it and stock up now and get 15% off just by clicking that link in the description down below. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.